Hi guys, welcome back to Sports Management English. It is now week 7 of Sports Management English, so I hope you guys are doing well. We are almost 50% or more than 50% finished with Sports Management English this semester. I know it's a tough semester. A lot of you guys have a lot of stress, but we're almost done and almost at the end, almost summertime. Okay, so remember again, if you have any questions about the class, I really hope you guys will email me, or the best choice, come to Zoom class and talk. Yes, talk in Zoom class is very important. So I'm always putting men on the cover of our PowerPoint video presentation. So this time I'm putting some women on the front of our PowerPoint video presentation. Do you recognize these women? Yes, it was Korea's national basketball team from a few years ago. Very tough ladies. I think Korea's competitiveness in women's basketball is very high these past few years, although I don't know if many people watch it. What about you guys? Do you watch women's basketball? I think their fundamentals are like really good, and there's a lot of tall ladies in Korea, so I think Korean ladies basketball can be like really popular around the world. Um, in any case, so without further ado, let's get started. Remember again, you guys have questions about anything, please send me an email sometime. Um, so we value your opinion about the test. So I want you guys to give me some feedback about the midterm test. How was the test? I got some students, every semester I get some students complain a little bit about test. Sometimes I make a mistake, that's true, but sometimes students are just angry about they didn't do as well as possible. Um, if I make a mistake, I'm always ready to fix the mistake or add some points. It's really not a big problem for me, but sometimes it's a little bit of a problem for students if they don't understand why they missed something on the test, or if they think that the test was um, maybe not fair or something. So I always try to give my students a little bit of a quiz here about how do they think the test was. Now, I can tell you guys, I tried to make everything from the test almost exactly what it was in the video. So I felt if you watch the video and you really understood the material, then it shouldn't be very difficult. It might be a little bit difficult, but there can be some times where maybe it was harder than I expected. I want you to be really honest. Tell me about the difficulty level of this test on a scale of 1 to 10. And about the fairness level. How much of this stuff from the test do you think was in the video lessons? Well, on the other hand, maybe it's not very fair to take a test when we never really have a class in person. I know that, but just think about the material on the test. So if you go into our class portal and go to assignments, there's a kind of poll for you guys to take. It's just 2 questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult was the test? On a scale of 1 to 10, how fair was the test? Okay. If you finish it before May 3rd, I'll give you 5 points for doing this poll. Okay. Please try to be honest. Don't just think about, did you do good on the test? Actually, most students did pretty good on the test. Some students did so-so, many students did good, and only a few students did bad. Okay, I added a couple extra points to everybody's test. Right now, I have not checked the essay. I have not checked the essay right now. The computer cannot check your essay. Only I can check your essay. Okay? So your final score, probably by the time you're listening to this, it might not be ready yet. So some students got a D or C, but they didn't understand that we didn't finish the essay score yet, okay? So that's a big part of it. I always tell my students, just relax. It's only a test, okay? It's only a test. I'm teaching for a long time. I can understand what is fair and what is not fair. So please just be patient and wait, and you will get the score that you deserve. I promise this. You will get the score that you deserve. And if there's any mistakes, I will be generous with the points. Okay. And this is just test 1. Okie dokie. So take it easy. Please do my online poll. Be honest with online poll. I will use it to make the next test. Okay? Okay, so please go into the assignments before May 3rd and do this. Okay, so your next quiz, remember quizzes are for participation points usually, but this one is going to count also for the class attendance. The class attendance. So it's going to be on May 21st, the same as the previous one. It's multiple choice and fill in the blanks. Multiple choice and fill in the blanks. It's going to be on our class portal. And it's counted as 출석, as your attendance for that week. So if you do the quiz this week on May 21, May 21, then you will get attendance counted for that week. If you do not do the quiz, you will not get attendance for that week. Actually, I'm very generous about attendance in the smart attendance. As long as I see most people watch the video, I'm marking smart attendance, you're here. I have the power to mark you as here, and I think because of the virus situation, I try to be very generous about the attendance. However, I want to make sure you guys do the quiz. So on May 21st, you will only get the attendance if you do the quiz. Understand? So you must do the quiz that week. You'll have 3 days or 4 days to take it like before, maybe 3 days to take it, okay? So if you do take the quiz, you will get the attendance for that week. If you do not do this quiz, you will not get your attendance for this week, okay? So please do it. If you have any questions, again, send me an email. Okay, so our Zoom class, what did you think of Zoom class? Well, I liked Zoom class mostly. I had a little sports business. We had an early Zoom class, right? We woke up very, very early in the morning. So I understand it was a little bit difficult for some of you guys. Maybe you're busy or you worked or you were, with your family. So I understand. But I want to thank you anyways for coming. Okay. Thank you anyways for coming. So our next Zoom class, in this class will be May 14th for sports business. It's going to be May 14th for the sports business. You get participation points. Okay, this time I give everybody participation points. I mean, the last time you guys came, I give everybody participation points. Got it? However, this time there were so few students showing me their face and talking. Why didn't you guys show your faces? Well, some of you did, but many people did not. Why not? It's a little bit hard to do interaction when nobody's showing their face and nobody's talking. What score can I give you guys if you don't show your face and you don't talk? And I know in some classes, not our class, but in some classes, the students turn off their camera and they go do something else, right? So, I do the Zoom class, it's not a punishment. It's because I think it's good for us to talk and know each other. I think it's better than just watching the video. And I think we can learn better. Every student who complain about something they're not learning this semester, you have no excuse if you don't come to the Zoom class. Okay. Now you don't have to come to this class, but I want you to come for participation points. And in the next Zoom class, you only get points. You only get the full points if you turn on your camera and you speak. Turn on camera and speak. Okay. Some students don't have camera, but everybody has phone, and you can use phone for Zoom. And not everybody can speak English perfectly, that's true, but everybody can try to speak 3 times. Everybody can try to speak 3 times, right? All we can do is try. We don't want to be complainer, we don't want to be loser. Anybody who tries is not a loser. Okay, I'm teaching a long time. I don't think any student is a loser. Just don't complain. Give it your best shot. Remember, give it a shot. Give it your best shot. Okay, so next Zoom class, May 14th. You don't have to come, but if you do come, you get the points if you speak 3 times and turn on the camera. And I think we can have a more fun class. It's early, I know, it's hard. It's not easy. But it's not easy for me too. Doing all the videos and making the Zoom, trying to make you guys talk. It gives me stress too. Just like you get stressed, I get stressed as well. But we can only try our best. We can only try our best. And you guys you're sportsmen, sportswomen, so I know you understand about effort. Effort is the big part. Okay? Okay. So, but maybe some of you guys were a little bit worried about your appearance in the Zoom class, right? You can see this little dog. This is with the audio on. Look, his crazy hair. He didn't take a shower. He has his coffee. Now look at the Zoom class with the cool dog who's groomed himself. He can turn on the video. Actually, I don't care what you look like. It's not important for your score. I know it's a culture. People don't want to look bad, but if you're really worried, just wake up 20 minutes earlier and put on some makeup or take a shower, drink some coffee, and you can wake up. Don't worry about your appearance so much. Your points are more important. Point is more important than appearance, right? I'm sure you guys can all agree with that. And I know I don't look very good in the morning these days. I'm feeling very tired easily. So I understand your point. But we got to do it. We have to put our effort forward so we can get the most out of the class as possible. Nobody can control the virus situation now. Nobody in the world can control it. But we can control what we get out of this situation. We can control what we get and what we do from this situation. That's all, right? Okay, so I don't care you look like the left dog or the right dog. I only care I can see you and I can hear your voice. I only care if I can see you, I can hear your voice and see your smiling face, and that you're trying to speak English a little bit. A little bit. And I can say the people who did their homework, I was really satisfied with those people who did their homework. I was really satisfied with the advertisements that they chose. Even not everybody did it or was able to talk about it the same. I still thought it was pretty good. I was pretty good. And about this point, I'm never disappointed with sports business. I'm never disappointed with you guys. Okay. But if you are self-conscious, if you're worried about your looks, if you follow these directions, you can actually do a kind of Photoshop on your Zoom. Zoom has a video setting that can change your appearance and make you look more beautiful. Okay, so you have to access settings in Zoom. So go into Zoom. You can go in, click settings, and click video. Or you can join the meeting and click the arrow next to the video icon and choose video settings. You see the black writing, settings and then video, or in the meeting, click video settings. And then number 2, in the video settings dialog, click touch up my appearance. Touch up my appearance. So touch up means, yeah, clean up, make more beautiful. Okay, and check this option to display your video with touch up. So just do exactly what it says there. Click the little blue box, touch up my appearance, and every time Zoom will remember it. If you click this and you use the same computer or the same phone, then Zoom will remember it and they will always remember to touch up your appearance. So if you're like the little scruffy dirty dog who didn't take a shower in the morning, you can just touch up your appearance and Zoom is going to make you so beautiful. Everybody is going to fall in love with you on the Zoom application. So there are so many different things we can use. And you can change your background if you don't want to show your home, you don't want to show your room is messy, you don't want to show your private room, you can change the background. You guys saw I changed my background. Okay. Now I don't have time to do the Zoom tutorial here, but I want you guys to, play with Zoom. You can change the language to Korean and you can play with all the settings if you have time. It's a really cool tool. It's a very cool tool. So take your time, experiment with Zoom. We're not going to have another meeting for 2 weeks, right? So play with it, touch up your appearance, change your background. I wanted to have all the cool settings, so I paid like a manwon every month for Zoom because I think it's worth it. You guys maybe don't have them. You want to use your manwon for other things, right? So I understand you don't want to do it. But for me, it was like a really cool thing, especially now we have the virus time. A lot of people are having like Zoom parties and Zoom drinking parties and Zoom concerts, Zoom 회식. So it's a kind of cool investment for me. But even if you have the free Zoom, you should be able to change your face and make it more beautiful. Okay? Okay. Okay. What do you guys think about this picture? Do you know who these guys are? I don't know. I think although basketball is usually not considered one of Korea's most popular sports, I feel like the NBA's popularity is really, really growing in Korea, right? I see like a lot of guys in Namso University outside playing it, so I think that NBA's popularity is really, really growing here. And I saw the Chinese and Mongolian students, they definitely love the NBA. And I love the last guy there. Well, I used to love LeBron James of the Cavaliers, although he changed his team, so I'm not too interested in him anymore. But so what do you think about look at their bodies, what's on their bodies? Yes, that's right. They all have tattoos. What do you think about that? Looks good? Looks bad? Looks terrible? What do you think about tattoos in sports? When I was young, guys in sports were not allowed to have tattoos for the most part. It was not common for guys in sports to have tattoos. And I think like in Korea, it's still not really common, right? Or it's getting more common, but still not too common. So do you think it looks good? Looks bad? Looks like gangpae? What do you think? NBA players with tattoos. Well, I know that a lot of people are big fans of PC games, although I know everybody likes FIFA, right? FIFA game. I see people playing FIFA all the time. This game, NBA 2K16, well, the makers of this game for PlayStation and for Xbox, and I think there's a PC version as well, they are being sued. Do you know sue? You think maybe 고소하다, right? 고소하다? like in court, in the court, they're being sued for using copyrighted videos, copyrighted tattoos. I'm sorry, copyrighted tattoos. So they stole a copyrighted tattoo. Allegedly means we think, but it's not sure yet at the time this was published. Okay, so it's a really, really famous game. It's licensed by NBA, and for a while, the makers of this game were getting sued. Well, why? Why is it so bad to show the players tattoos in the game? Why is it so bad? Of course, people have tattoos, so if you remove the tattoos, it doesn't look like it's a good, accurate depiction of the game, right? Doesn't look like it's an accurate depiction of the game, of the NBA players. So who is LeBron without his tattoos, right? So I thought this was a kind of interesting problem for sports business majors. It's related copyright and marketing and a third-party license. Who has the right to these people's image? Okay. So in the game, you can kind of create your own player with their tattoos like this. So who do these tattoos belong to? Whose property are these tattoos? Is this property of the players? Does LeBron James own his tattoos? Does Shaq own his tattoos? Do the designers, they created this game. They made these characters in the game. The characters are real people. So do the game designers own it? Does PlayStation own it? Or these are works of art. This art was created by tattoo artists, real tattoo artists who trained and studied really hard, and they made these tattoo designs from their mind. So maybe these tattoos belong to somebody else. Maybe these tattoo designs belong to somebody else. Who do they belong to, in your opinion? Who do they belong to, in your opinion? It's a kind of really difficult situation. It's something we don't really think about very often. It's something that we might not really think about very often. So think about, what's your opinion? Who do these belong to? So what is the argument really about? Well, just a quick summary of this says, a company called Solid Oak. So Solid Oak is a group of tattoo artists. They were paid to design and draw these tattoos on NBA players. Okay, so they say that they hold the copyright for this artwork. I think everybody knows what is copyright. So they design the art. They own this art. They own this art. Therefore, they say the company who makes the video game owes them money. So every time somebody picks this character with these tattoo players, then these tattoo artists should get money. And they said the game makers who made the game did not get their permission. They did not get their permission. Okay. So Solid Oak's legal argument says they have a copyright, and if you digitize, if you make your art into a game, is this allowed or not? Should the tattoo artist company, should they get paid? Since PlayStation is making money and Xbox, Microsoft is making money from these tattoos, should the tattoo artist get some of that money? Should the tattoo artist get some of that money? What do you think? What do you think about that? Yay or nay? Yes or no? It's kind of hard. I know you're not lawyers, but I thought it was a kind of interesting thing, especially if you like sports and if you like PC games and console games and so on. then you might be kind of interested about this argument, right? You might be kind of interested about this argument. So what do you think? What do you think? So who owns this artwork? The tattoo artists, the players, the NBA, the game maker, PlayStation or Microsoft? Who owns it? Or does everybody have a part a little bit? It's kind of strange, right? You have this art on your body, but you don't own it. Another question, what do you think about players getting tattooed? Like I said, when I was young, players were usually not allowed to get tattooed. They were usually not allowed to get tattooed. How about in Korean sports? Are the players allowed to get tattooed? Well, I know that in Korea, tattoos have grown in popularity. When I first came to Korea, it was like really hard to get, it was really hard. It wasn't common to see people tattooed. If you had a tattoo, every ajashi called you gangpei, right? Or jopok. But nowadays, I see a lot of young people with tattoos, and even they have tattoos on their neck. What do you think about sports players? Players who go out in front of Korea, in front of the world, and they play. They get tattooed. What do you think? Is it a good idea or a bad idea? And how about you? I know some of you guys do have tattoos, although I don't know if sports business ever has them, but do you have any tattoos? If you don't have any, would you ever get a tattoo? Would you ever choose to get a tattoo? Does that sound like a good idea to you or not? If you would get a tattoo or would not get a tattoo, why or why not? Why or why not? What design do you want? If you have an idea design you want, show us. Download a picture and show it to us. If we talk about it in the Zoom class, then you can show us your tattoo design. I think it would be kind of a fun activity. I know a lot of people have a hard time with tattoos because if you get a tattoo, you have it for life, right? You have it for life. So that can be a little bit hard to take for some people. Me too. Even I had many friends who make tattoos, who give tattoos. I never wanted to get too many tattoos because, well, I could never really choose a design that I really, really wanted. Maybe you're the same as me. Maybe you're the same as me, or maybe you're a little bit more brave than me. Okay, well, today we're going to talk about, again, about getting a job abroad. Getting a job abroad. So we talked about going abroad, and many of you guys are going to study abroad, or you're going to play sports abroad, or you're going to work abroad, or at least you're going to travel abroad. So we're going to talk about some ways to get a job abroad, how to do it, and how it can be useful for you. So the first thing we're going to talk about, you need to learn the language and culture. Most of you guys are studying another language, usually English, but often Chinese, Japanese, or another language that's used in many places around the world. And in this class, we're trying to get familiar with the business culture of abroad, right? We're trying to get familiar with the business culture of abroad. So that is one important thing. We also need to prepare a resume or CV. What's a resume or CV? What's a resume? 이력서, right? 이력서. That can be, or does that mean just to continue? I can't remember. I always get the Korean vocabulary confused. Resume. In any case, a resume is a list of your work history. It's a list of your work history. Okay. A CV is very, very similar. We're just going to talk about resume in this class, not CV, because they're almost the same. They're almost the same. Okay. Then we're going to talk about preparing a cover letter. A cover letter is a letter that shows your interest in a job. shows your interest in a job. So we're not going to talk about cover letters too much today, but next week we will be talking a bit about cover letters. Then we're going to talk about preparing for interview. Preparing for the interview. How do we prepare for interviews? And possibly for your final assignment, I'm going to have you guys do a little interview if I can find a way to really make it work. We're going to prepare for the interview that way. Okay, so today we're just going to focus a bit on preparing a resume or a CV, a curriculum vitae. Okay, so resume writing. So I thought this was funny. This was kind of popular in American news a few years ago. There was a Korean guy who wrote his resume for an American company, and he couldn't really speak English well, and he didn't have the best experience, but his cover letter for his resume was really, really cute. He said, I just want to travel to the United States, and I'm strong like a bear. I can fight a bear. And I think the job eventually hired him because he seemed like such an interesting guy. Maybe don't write this funny thing in all of your resumes, but I think this guy, the way he wrote his resume, he really stood out. People really remembered him, and then they didn't forget him. So thinking about writing your resume, you want to make so your information really stands out so that people remember you. You want to be remembered so when they think about who is the best for this job, you stick out in their mind. So even if you're not the first choice for the job, they still might pick you for their second choice. They still might pick you for their second choice, right? So this guy, again, he wasn't the most qualified necessarily, but I'm sure he eventually got a job, right? Because it's hard to forget the resume that talks about fighting bears. It's very hard to forget a resume that talks about fighting bears. Okay, so think about how would you make yourself stand out? How would you make yourself stand out? So resume writing 101. Now we're going to talk a little bit about resume writing, sharing important information about your skills, what you can do, your education, where you studied and how you studied, and your experience. Anything in your life or in your jobs or in your education that has helped your experience for this job. That's helped your experience for this job. Okay? So you want to make your resume pop. So when we mean pop, we mean we want your resume to explode. So I can tell you when I was in the universities and I was in charge of choosing resumes for new professors. And I can tell you some professors were kind of good, but their resume didn't really pop. I didn't remember their resume. They seemed like they might be good teachers, but I didn't really remember them. I couldn't find a reason why I would choose them over another person. Now, the person who says they're going to fight a bear, well, don't write you're going to fight a bear, but I think it might be a good idea to keep some information in there that, that makes people understand who you are and why you're such an interesting person to choose for this job. So that's why we say, make your resume pop, pop, explode, right? To make your resume explode. Think about details about you that are really going to make your resume pop for the person who's reading it. So when they put down your resume, they're going to remember you at the end of the day. Pop quiz. So here's a little quiz. What is the initial amount of time an employer takes to review an applicant's resume? So how long when an employer, when the boss is looking at a resume, how long does he look at it? Take a minute. What do you think? Answer: 15 to 20 seconds minimum, 45 seconds maximum. So most of them, they look at for 15 to 20 seconds. Only 15 to 20 seconds. Wow. Not very long, huh? Right? And at the most, they're looking at it for 45 seconds. So that means if they really, really like you, they're looking for only not even 1 minute. What do you think that means for you? If they're only looking for 1 minute, what should you do for your resume? What should you do for your resume if they're only looking for 1 minute? Well, that's right. You should make your resume pop. You should make your resume interesting for the people who are reading it. You should make your resume interesting for the people who are reading it. So you just need to think about how you do it. How are you going to grab their attention in 15 to 20 seconds? How are you going to make them care about your resume in only 15 to 20 seconds? That can be a little bit difficult, right? That can be a little bit difficult. And I can tell you, as the person who reviewed the resumes, well, I tried to look longer than 45 seconds. I always try to look for at least 1 minute. At least 1 minute. But sometimes it can be a little bit difficult when you don't have that much time. And if the boss gets a lot of resumes, right, then it's going to be pretty difficult. Well, why do you need a resume? Why is it so important to have a resume? Well, first of all, a resume is a marketing tool. Remember, marketing is important, just like in our advertisements, marketing for Nike, but you want to market yourself to Nike. You want to market yourself to FIFA. You want to market yourself to your favorite football team. Sell yourself. Why are you the best person for this job? Why are they getting a good deal by choosing you? Well, you want to get a job, right? You want to start your career. You're sports business majors. You want to get started. But remember,